各位指出，向香港政府嚴正控訴香港政府同埋北京政權已經成為侵犯人權嘅慣犯，而呢個慣犯呢係不知悔改，喺2019年變本加厲。我哋睇到嘅，我哋一直理解嘅香港嘅人權保障被侵犯嘅有邊啲呢？實在太多，包括人權賦予我哋基本嘅權利，可以係參選、被選嘅權利，但係我哋就見到 DQ 議員嘅事件呢，一次又一次咁樣發生，一直都未停止過，變本加厲。人權賦予我哋嘅權利，不被侵犯我哋嘅身體、我哋嘅自由，但係喺反送中運動裏邊，香港人俾警察點樣對待？濫用暴力、非法拘留，將我哋香港人嘅兒女暴打，將一啲年青人去拉咗佢，拘捕佢，但係並唔係起訴嘅，根本就冇證據嘅，嗰啲叫非法濫捕，嗰啲叫任意拘捕，嗰啲叫非法拘留，呢啲概念完全喺人權法，包括國際嘅人權法、香港嘅人權法案，我哋基本法都保障咗嘅。警方係完全視若無睹，更加喺理大嘅事件裏邊，我都親受係其中，放咗幾多個子彈，幾多嘅催淚彈，傷害咗幾多我哋嘅年青人，將佢圍堵喺一個地方，喺佢離開嘅時候用子彈射佢，呢啲根本係不人道嘅做法。所以我哋香港人面對咁多呢啲香港政府公然侵犯人權嘅做法，我希望香港人第一要嚴正指出、嚴正去指控、控訴。我哋過往將人權嘅概念呢，好多人都會將佢學術化，將佢變成一個學術嘅概念去討論。唔係啊！我哋嘅身體、我哋嘅自由已經受到直接嘅侵犯。我希望香港人第一要嚴正指出、嚴正指控；第二，我哋奮起抵擋好多嘅呢啲侵犯人權嘅個案呢，其實可以用打官司同政府呢係去控訴，但的而且確呢，呢個過程係好漫長，好多受害者係好擔心係被警方秋後算賬。但我賦予香港人要勇敢。當我哋面對侵犯人權嘅政權，如果我哋退卻，我哋害怕佢就呢個政權呢種侵犯人權嘅做法就會不斷咁樣伸延。第二，我希望香港人一齊做嘅就係將人權呢個普世價值咧，同我哋國際社會去連結，話俾全世界聽，去到聯合國，去到全世界唔同嘅人權機構去作出一個控訴。呢一個係全世界普世嘅價值咧。如果香港人嘅人權被侵犯，我哋請全世界都一齊睇清楚，為我哋發聲，將中共政權同埋港共政權嘅醜陋公諸於世。呢一個希望香港人同我哋係公民社會同埋民主派係一齊去做呢件事，去到一啲機構、人權嘅機構裏邊呢，係追究到底。最後我呼籲香港人係要勇敢抵擋，守住香港嘅人權，就係同我哋守住我哋嘅法治、守住我哋嘅民主係一樣咁重要。為咗我哋嘅人權， 法治、民主，我哋一齊去戰鬥到底。喺呢個人權日，我同香港人一齊互勉。多謝大家。Fight for freedom!
Today is the real International Day for Human Rights, the real day. Of course, we show our support for human rights fighters all around the world. But don't we say charity begins at home? We need to do our own part first. We need to look after ourselves first before we can look after others. In Hong Kong, it's clear by now the government is standing firm, Carrie Lam would claim. The government wouldn't budge, but the protesters are not budging in any way either. So it's a dead end, it's a deadlock. They would say no end in sight. So what's going to happen? It seems like a waiting game. They're waiting us out. The government thinks they've got the power on their side, so they are the authority. They forgot time is on the people's side. Time is always on our side. Now we have to pay attention to the following, and that is our protests used to be fairly issue-based. About more than a decade ago, we fought against this legislation of Article 23. At the time, we sort of won, right? I wouldn't bore you with the details, but then that Article 23 legislation got scrapped from the legislature. Yoo-hoo! We won, and we just forgot about it. We all went back home, we went back to work, and everything's fine. And what happened at the umbrella movement? It's about the same thing. We were fighting against this Beijing so-called political reform thing that's slapped onto Hong Kong. So-called reform when it's not a reform in any way. We all knew that. And in the end, again, we kind of won because that so-called political reform never got a passage at the legislature. Fine, never mind. And so we all went home and all went back to work again. But ladies and gentlemen, this time it's very different. Our antipathy, our desperation, our frustration, our anger, our hostility are very, very deeply founded. The Carrie Lam government cannot get away with all that. It's all there. This fight is cross-sector, cross-generation. It's Hong Kong-wide. It's going to last for generations to come. So ladies and gentlemen, I urge you, tonight is just a tiny event of ours. I call on you to look at our fight and promise yourself you will show the support for all the days to come, all the events, all the fights we're going to put up. So ladies and gentlemen, 5 demands. 5 demands. What's stand with Hong Kong? What's the line before? Oh, fight for freedom. Fight for freedom. Stand with Hong Kong. Fight for freedom. Stand with Hong Kong. Thank you.
事實上都係已經幾十年嘅行動，5年前入咗呢個雨傘運動，又繼續係繼續去加。第一，我哋20年爭取中國廢除死刑，又爭取納萬類得到係香港嘅接受嘅好嘅對待嘅 就係兄弟姊妹特別嗰啲呢幾個月